Well, I mean, I am extremely concerned. Again, I was trying to outline a 10-point action plan.
For years, the secret remained locked away, hidden in the shadows of the royal family's tightly guarded walls. A secret so powerful, it could change everything. King Charles, a monarch with a life shaped by public expectation, carried a truth that few could ever fathom. Beneath the crown and the grandeur, there was a bond that he was forced to keep in the dark. His son, a child whose very existence threatened to unravel the delicate fabric of royalty. But why? What drove a king to hide his own flesh and blood? The story behind this secret is one of love, sacrifice, and the unimaginable choices that come with wearing a crown. This is the untold truth of why King Charles had to keep his son a secret. Who is the son? The story of King Charles and his alleged secret son is one shrouded in mystery. Many have wondered, who is this child that was kept hidden from the public for so long? Well, the details around this secret son remain unclear and largely speculative, with a mix of rumors and half-truths that have spread over the years. However, one of the most prominent claims is that the child is from an affair that King Charles had during the 1980s. Some reports suggest that the child was born out of an affair King Charles had with a woman who was not Princess Diana or Camilla Parker Bowles. Yet, despite the rumors, there has never been any official confirmation of the son's identity. What we do know is that this child was allegedly kept away from the public eye, and any trace of him was wiped from the royal family's official history. While the exact details about the son are hard to pin down, speculation has linked the child to King Charles's earlier years when he was already married to Diana, or even earlier when his relationship with Camilla was less public. For some, the idea of a secret son is not entirely shocking, given the royal family's long history of maintaining a certain image and protecting their personal lives from public scrutiny. But why would a member of the royal family, particularly someone as high profile as King Charles, choose to keep a child in the shadows? What could possibly be the reason for such secrecy? Why was he kept a secret? The question of why this son was kept a secret is both complex and, in many ways, heartbreaking. King Charles, like all members of the royal family, was bound by the unspoken rules of monarchy, where image and reputation are everything. The royal family's primary concern is maintaining an image of perfection. Royal protocol dictates that every action, every word, and even every relationship be carefully controlled to ensure there is no scandal. A royal scandal, especially one involving an illegitimate child, could threaten the very foundation of the monarchy. For Charles, revealing the existence of a son born out of an affair could have been disastrous. It would have brought intense media scrutiny, undermined his already strained relationship with Princess Diana, and sparked public outrage. The British monarchy is an institution built on tradition, and any deviation from that tradition is viewed as a threat. A secret child could have complicated the line of succession and the delicate balance of power within the royal family. Beyond the public image, there was also the issue of security. Royals live under constant threat, and a child, especially one with a questionable background, could have been vulnerable. In a world where the media would go to extreme lengths to dig into personal matters, exposing the son's existence could have endangered both him and his family. So, keeping the child a secret seemed to be the only logical option for King Charles and the royal family. It allowed them to shield themselves from the harsh glare of the media and protect their public persona at all costs. The story of concealment. But how did King Charles go about hiding this son? The royal family is known for its ability to keep secrets, and this one was no exception. The story of concealment is as much about strategy as it is about secrecy. First, it's important to understand that royal lives are not like ordinary lives. Members of the royal family have access to vast resources, including personal security teams and staff who are sworn to secrecy. The child's birth, if indeed it happened, was likely kept under tight wraps. He could have been raised far away from the public eye, perhaps in another country or under the guise of a distant relative. What is even more fascinating is the fact that King Charles could have continued his life as though nothing had happened. His public appearances, interviews, and royal duties were all unaffected. The child was likely kept hidden from the media, and any records relating to his existence were sealed. Perhaps even those closest to King Charles and the royal family never knew about this secret. Despite the level of secrecy, the question remains, why take such measures? King Charles had to know that the truth would eventually come out. The high, longer the secret remained hidden, the more difficult it would be to keep it under wraps. But for him, the cost of revealing the truth may have been far greater than the cost of concealment. Reasons behind the secret. The royal family's reputation is everything. They are not just public figures. They represent an institution that has stood for centuries. Every member of the family is expected to act with the utmost decorum and to maintain a flawless image at all times. A scandal involving an illegitimate child would have been catastrophic, especially at a time when the royal family was already under intense public scrutiny. The monarchy's ability to remain in power is directly tied to how it is perceived by the public. Any scandal, no matter how small, could shake public confidence in the royal family. And for King Charles, who had already faced significant challenges in his personal life, this secret son could have been the tipping point. An affair, a secret child, and the potential for a broken marriage all painted a picture that the royal family could not afford to make public. The monarchy was going through enough turmoil with the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage, and the idea of a hidden child would have been too much to bear. The political consequences of revealing such a secret would have been immense. As the heir to the British throne, King Charles' actions could have directly affected the monarchy's future. A secret child could have complicated the line of succession, especially if there were doubts about the child's legitimacy or place in the royal family. If the secret son were to be revealed and accepted into the royal fold, it could have created a conflict with other heirs. Would the child have had a claim to the throne? Would there have been a struggle for power within the royal family? These are questions that would have undermined the stability of the monarchy and could have had serious constitutional ramifications. At the time, the royal family needed unity, not division. Exposing such a secret could have jeopardized that unity, threatening the stability of the monarchy for generations. King Charles's personal life was far from straightforward. His marriage to Princess Diana was fraught with tension, and his affair with Camilla Parker Bowles was widely known and discussed by the media. But even beyond these well-documented issues, there were personal feelings at play. King Charles's decision to keep the son a secret may have been influenced by a desire to protect his family, and particularly his children. Revealing the existence of another child, especially one from a relationship outside of his marriage to Diana, would have caused further strain between him and his children, William and Harry. There was also the matter of his own emotional state. Charles was under enormous pressure, both from his public duties and from his personal life. Keeping this secret might have been an effort to maintain some semblance of control in a life that felt increasingly out of his hands. The hidden child's life and impact. The life of the secret son, assuming he existed, would have been one of extreme secrecy. Raised away from the public eye, he would have likely been kept away from the royal spotlight entirely. While there are no confirmed details about his upbringing, it's possible that he was given a private education, shielded from the intense media attention that the royal family often faces. His life would have been vastly different from that of his half-siblings, William and Harry. Unlike them, he would have been kept hidden, with no public appearances or official titles. It's even possible that he grew up unaware of his true parentage, given the strict measures the royal family would have taken to keep the secret. Being kept a secret would have undoubtedly taken a toll on the child, especially as he grew older. The knowledge that his existence was concealed from the world could have led to feelings of isolation and confusion. Would he have ever learned the truth about his father? And how would that knowledge have shaped his relationship with King Charles, his family, and even the British public? The emotional strain of living in secrecy cannot be underestimated. For a child who was denied the opportunity to know his father fully, the psychological impact could have been profound. How did the child cope with growing up without public recognition or connection to the royal family? The royal family is known for its strong public image, but behind the scenes, their relationships are not always as perfect as they appear. Keeping such a secret could have strained the dynamics within the family. King Charles's relationships with his children, William and Harry, would have likely been affected by the knowledge of a secret child. How did they feel about the secrecy? And what did it mean for their relationship with their father? These are questions that remain unanswered, but the impact on the family's closeness and trust would have been undeniable. If you found this story fascinating, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden truths and untold stories. There's always more to discover. King Charles and Queen Camilla's forbidden love affair started from friendship, which eventually led to marriage, despite the controversies surrounding their relationship. Some of these controversies also revolve around Camilla's status as the future queen. But now, King Charles has made an announcement about Camilla's position in the palace, which could potentially change her status. This would lead to several questions about the future of the royal family. What is this announcement? And how exactly does it affect the future of the royal family? Join us as we reveal the huge announcement that King Charles made about Queen Camilla, the royal announcement. King Charles has just made an announcement regarding Queen Camilla, which has stirred a lot of reactions from both the royal family and the public. This announcement brought about a lot of changes in the role Camilla has to play within the monarchy. This announcement further established her title as Queen Consort and her growing responsibilities alongside Charles. In his statement, King Charles emphasized his commitment to supporting Camilla as she continues her royal duties. This decision is important not only as a personal acknowledgement of their marriage, but also as a strategic move to redefine the monarchy in the public eye. Following the death of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022, the royal family underwent a significant transition. Prince Charles, her eldest son and the longest-serving heir apparent, immediately ascended the throne as King Charles III, marking a significant shift after decades of Queen Elizabeth's reign. This change brought in a fresh perspective and approach within the royal family. With King Charles now at the helm, Camilla was formally acknowledged as Queen Consort, highlighting her crucial role alongside him. This important moment is indicated by Charles's emphasis on service and community engagement, to silence the sentiments shared during his early years of public life. The couple's focus on charitable initiatives is evident, with Camilla actively championing causes like domestic violence awareness and literacy programs. Their joint efforts reflect a major shift in how the royal family engages with the public. The couple has made significant strides in fostering a more relatable and approachable image. You will not believe the reaction of the public. Keep following. The public reactions to the announcement have been positive, with many praising Camilla's dedication to her royal duties and charitable work. Her ability to connect with people from various backgrounds has played a critical role in reshaping her public image. Furthermore, their marriage shows a modern monarchy that acknowledges past controversies while looking toward the future. Also, the media reactions to this news is quite fascinating, as the opinions and comments varied. Supporters applaud this as a sign of progressive leadership, acknowledging Camilla's growth and her contributions to various causes. However, critics remained skeptical, pointing to the history of their relationship and the controversies that have surrounded it in the past. Among the royal experts, discussions emerged about whether this move would solidify Camilla's place in the monarchy, or if the public would continue to contend with her controversial past. As royal analysts analyzed the situation, they noted that this could mark a turning point for the monarchy. Many believe that Charles's decision reflects a desire to modernize the royal image, moving away from the old perceptions that have plagued the family. Peradventure, the implications of this announcement will pave the way for a new era in royal history. It is a notable interest that the public opinion has shifted dramatically over the past 2 decades. Polls indicate a growth in 2017, during an important moment at a public engagement where Camilla spoke candidly about her experiences with domestic abuse, which solidified her commitment to raising awareness about such critical issues. This authenticity proved vital in shifting public perceptions. Interestingly, her marriage to Charles allowed her to represent the modern royal pattern, harmonizing tradition with progressive values. As the couple's love story grew, their dedication to environmental causes gained momentum, with Charles often highlighting Camilla's support in his speeches. Together, they began to represent a new era for the monarchy, one that focused on compassion and service. The acceptance of the monarchy, particularly among younger generations, who value the authenticity and engagement of their leaders. Charles and Camilla's marriage is now seen as a testament to love's endurance, a narrative that matches with a society increasingly prioritizing emotional connections. The implications of this announcement are profound. Will Charles and Camilla continue to change the narrative of the monarchy's role in British life, as they take on more significant responsibilities? Their marriage will set the tone for future generations of royals. The challenge lies in balancing tradition with the expectations of a diverse and evolving public. As King Charles and Queen Camilla embark on this new chapter, they carry with them the hopes of a nation ready for change. Their story is one of resilience, love, and the promise of a modern monarchy that embraces the complexities of contemporary life. The royal couple's vision may not only uphold their legacy, but also inspire a renewed connection between the monarchy and the British people. As they take on greater responsibilities, there is a sense of anticipation about the impact their leadership will have on future generations of royals and the evolving nature of the British monarchy. King Charles's bold decision regarding Queen Camilla has altered the way of the royal family. The love story of the amazing British couple did not start out of the blues, as there was backlash and controversies behind their sweet story. How did their love grow over the years? Keep watching to find out. Camilla's past and royal connections. Love is generally believed to be a beautiful thing. It is a thing of joy when a couple recounts their love story. The story of King Charles and Queen Camilla began long before their marriage, tracing back to their early years. Their connection, which began in the early 1970s, sparked a relationship that would come to symbolize both resilience and controversy. At a polo match, the young Charles first met Camilla Shand, a spirited woman with a distinct charm that captivated him. Little did they know that this chance encounter would lay the groundwork for a complex relationship filled with both joy and heartache. Camilla Rosemary Shand was born on July 17, 1947, into an upper-middle class in King's College Hospital, London. Her parents, Major Bruce Shand and Rosalind Cubitt, welcomed their second child into a family steeped in British aristocracy. Her upbringing was relatively privileged. She attended prestigious schools, including Queensgate School and the University of London, where she studied English. This background provided her with a strong foundation, and influences became pivotal in shaping her character. Growing up in a society that valued lineage, she developed a keen understanding of her social environment. When she crossed paths with Prince Charles, then the heir to the British throne, their instant connection could not be hidden. Their paths first crossed in the early 1970s, at a polo match, where mutual friends facilitated their introduction. The chemistry was immediate, and they quickly became inseparable. Yet, as the public later came to know, their burgeoning romance was fraught with complications. Camilla's marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles in 1973 added an additional layer of complexity to their connection, leading to public speculation and scrutiny. Their marriage seemed conventional on the surface, but the reality was far more complicated. At this point, the pressures of royal life began to shape their relationship. Charles, who was bound by the expectations of duty and tradition, found himself torn between his feelings for Camilla and his obligation to marry a suitable royal bride. As their friendship endured through the years, the world watched, often through the lens of scandal. Their bond, characterized by mutual affection and understanding, provided a sanctuary amid the relentless glare of the media. As expected between lovers, especially a first love, the relationship between the two was hard to detach. Despite her marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles, the bond between Charles and Camilla remained strong. Their friendship continued, characterized by secretive meetings and shared confidences, often fueling speculation and rumors. While Charles pursued a courtship with Lady Diana Spencer in the 1980s, the dynamics between the three became increasingly complicated. As the press began to dissect the royal family's every move, Camilla was often depicted as the villain in a tragic love story. The media's portrayal of her as the other woman solidified her status as a target for public scorn. And amidst the chaos, her friendship with Charles persisted, demonstrating an unwavering connection that defied societal expectations. The unsettled relationship between Charles and Diana further complicated the narrative. The 1981 wedding was celebrated as a fairy tale, but behind closed doors, the marriage was rife with discord. Diana's struggles with mental health and the pressures of royal life were well documented. Meanwhile, the whispers about Camilla's enduring presence in Charles's life grew louder. Here's where it gets interesting. While Diana was viewed as the perfect royal match, Camilla remained a constant in Charles's life, showcasing a connection that neither time nor circumstance could sever. Notably, it was during this period that Camilla's resilience began to shine, as she navigated the challenges of love in the public eye. Ultimately, their enduring connection laid the groundwork for a partnership that would withstand the test of time and societal expectations. As Charles and Diana's marriage unraveled, public interest in Camilla only intensified. Following the couple's separation in 1992 and subsequent divorce in 1996, Camilla became a fixture in the tabloids. The narrative spun around her was often unflattering, as she was painted as the woman who disrupted a fairy tale. Yet, what is often overlooked is the genuine affection that had developed between Charles and Camilla over the years. Their bond was not just rooted in romance, but also in a deep understanding and respect for one another. As public opinion continued to shift, their relationship faced new challenges, and as history records, their paths would intertwine in ways no one could have anticipated. Did the love story end here? How did Camilla become accepted despite challenges? Let's look into that. Camilla's royal redemption. As Charles and Camilla's relationship became public, the couple faced intense scrutiny from both the media and the public. Following the separation of Charles and Diana in 1992, and later their divorce in 1996, Camilla became the target of relentless criticism. The press labeled her the other woman, and this title haunted her throughout the late 1990s. She faced a number of backlash, as Camilla had to endure a lot of words during this period. However, a significant shift began in the early 2000s when Charles took decisive steps to reframe their narrative. In 2005, they married in a civil ceremony, marking a watershed moment in their relationship. The marriage signified not only their commitment to each other, but also a major move to reshape Camilla's public image. With the media often portraying her negatively, the royal couple set out to change the narrative of how they were seen. As the years passed after their marriage, Queen Camilla underwent a profound transformation in the eyes of the public.
It was a convenient place to stay. My judgment was probably coloured by my tendency to be too honourable.
The story of Prince Andrew has come to a quiet, serious end. Once, he lived in a big palace, wore fancy clothes, and had everything he wanted. People bowed when he walked by. He was a prince, someone many looked up to. But behind the fancy doors, something dark was happening. Things he did, things people didn't know about, were kept hidden for a long time. But the truth doesn't stay hidden forever. Slowly, it all came out. People started asking questions. More and more people came forward. The law looked into it. And in the end, the judge made a big decision. Prince Andrew would go to prison for the rest of his life. No more palace, no more crown. Just a small, cold prison cell. It's a big fall for someone who once had so much. A sad end, but a strong message. Even those who seem the most powerful must face the truth one day. His story is no longer about being a prince. It's about what happens when you break the rules and think you can get away with it. Now that chapter is closed. Background on the royal chef. Her name is Claire Davison. You probably hadn't heard of her before. Most people hadn't. Claire wasn't born into fame, and she didn't chase it either. She grew up in a quiet little town in Devon, England, where her love for cooking started in her grandmother's small kitchen. There was always something in the oven. Fresh bread, homemade pies, cookies with golden edges, and young Claire, with flour on her cheeks, soaked it all in. After high school, Claire pursued culinary studies in London. She wasn't the loudest student in her class, but she had something special. Patience, care, and a deep love for creating comfort through food. She didn't dream of being on TV or running a Michelin-starred restaurant. All she wanted was to feed people and make them happy. One day, a friend in the hospitality industry passed along her name to someone connected to the royal household. At the time, Princess Charlotte had just turned 1, and the palace was looking for a new chef who could not only cook, but also bring a nurturing, homey touch to the royal kitchen. Claire was interviewed, tested, and soon after, hired. She was just 29. Her role wasn't just to prepare meals, it was to create an environment of calm, nourishment, and care inside a world of high pressure and strict rules. Claire handled daily meals for Princess Charlotte, but also cooked for Prince William, Princess Kate, and occasionally other family members. Her days began at 5 a.m. and often ended past midnight. She prepared everything from oatmeal with organic honey to elegant three-course dinners. Every single meal had to meet royal standards. Ingredients were strictly organic. Allergies and dietary guidelines had to be double-checked. Snacks for playdates had to be both healthy and protocol approved. The kitchen wasn't just a workplace, it was a world of precision. But what set Claire apart wasn't just her skill. It was the quiet bond she built with Charlotte. Over the years, the young princess grew fond of her. Claire became more than a staff member. She was a familiar face, a comforting voice, someone who always remembered her favorite flavors. Charlotte loved Claire's strawberry scones the most. They were soft, buttery, and topped with a light dusting of sugar. Charlotte once whispered, "These are better than the ones at Highgrove." And Claire held on to those words. Literally, she scribbled them down and tucked the note inside her apron pocket for years. At public events, visiting diplomats and palace guests praised Claire's food. "Elegant but warm," one guest said of her rosemary chicken. Even senior staff members complimented her ability to stay calm under pressure. Claire never made herself the center of attention. She let her food speak for her. So, when news spread that she had been let go, people were shocked. The firing incident. Claire's dismissal came suddenly in late October last year. There was no announcement, no formal statement from the palace. She simply disappeared from the royal kitchen's staff list. Just like that, after 7 years of loyal service, she was gone. The people who worked with her were confused and heartbroken. She wasn't just a colleague. She was someone they looked up to. One staff member later said anonymously, "We were told she wouldn't be returning." No explanation. It felt wrong. Whispers and rumors began to circulate online. Some sources claimed that there was a disagreement between Claire and a senior royal staffer over scheduling or food handling procedures. Others suggested a change in palace management led to a reshuffling of roles. One tabloid hinted at Claire questioning new ingredient sourcing practices, something that may have upset higher-ups. Of course, none of these reasons were confirmed. The royal family remained silent, as they usually do with internal matters. Claire also didn't speak publicly, not at first. But a friend close to her told a local newspaper, "She's devastated. She gave that place everything." It's hard to imagine the emotional toll it must have taken. Claire had dedicated 7 years of her life to that job. She missed birthdays, holidays, and special moments with her own family to be present for someone else's. She watched Charlotte grow up. She put her heart into every dish, and in return, she was quietly let go. Sometimes it's not about how things end, it's about how they're ended. Claire didn't get closure. And yet, what came next would change her life in ways no one could have predicted. The turning point. Going viral. A few weeks after her dismissal, Claire returned to her childhood home in Devon. She spent her days in the quiet countryside, away from the noise and spotlight. Her mother's small cottage had the same kitchen where she first learned to cook. That's where she started baking again, just for herself. Then, one chilly evening in November, she had an idea. She decided to film herself making the strawberry scones that Princess Charlotte loved so much. It wasn't a planned production, just her, a wooden spoon, and her old kitchen table. She opened her phone, hit record, and said softly, "This is the scone recipe that once made a little princess smile." She uploaded the video to TikTok and went to bed. By the time she woke up the next morning, the video had exploded, over 600,000 views overnight. People couldn't stop watching. By lunchtime, the view count had crossed 2 million. Comments came flooding in. "This woman cooked for royalty and got fired? Shame on them. She's so wholesome. I could watch her bake all day. Protect Claire at all costs. She's our queen now. Someone get her a cooking show, stat." The video wasn't flashy. There were no fancy edits, no dramatic music, just Claire, gently talking through her recipe, telling little stories between steps. That's what made it magical. It felt real, honest, healing. News outlets quickly caught on. Headlines appeared everywhere. "Fired royal chef goes viral making Princess Charlotte's favorite scones." From Kensington Palace to TikTok fame, meet Claire Davison. Food bloggers recreated her recipe and tagged her. YouTubers reacted to her video. Even celebrity chefs mentioned her name during interviews. And Claire? She couldn't believe it. "I didn't expect anyone to care," she later said in a podcast. "I just missed baking." But people did care. They connected with her story, with her kindness, with her quiet strength. What she's doing now. Today, Claire is thriving. She now has over 1.8 million followers on TikTok, 900,000 on Instagram, and her YouTube channel, Claire's Cottage Kitchen, just passed 500,000 subscribers. She posts 2 videos a week, each one simple, cozy, and full of warmth. Her most popular video to date is titled, "Princess Charlotte's Favorite Pancakes." It's been viewed over 5 million times. But Claire hasn't let the fame change her. She still records in her mother's kitchen. The wooden table she uses wobbles slightly. Her dog Barney sometimes barks in the background. And Claire always smiles through it all. It's what makes people come back. Not for perfection, but for peace. Earlier this year, Claire announced her first cookbook, From the Palace to the Pantry. It's filled with easy recipes, childhood favorites, and heartwarming notes. Pre-orders sold out in less than a week. She's also hosting online baking classes and planning a small kitchenware line featuring tea towels and rolling pins. There's even talk of a Netflix cooking series, though Claire hasn't confirmed it yet. "I'm just taking it one day at a time," she told her fans during a live Q&A. "As long as I'm feeding people and bringing comfort, I'm happy." More than anything, Claire's story is one of resilience. She didn't get bitter. She didn't lash out. She chose kindness, and the world gave it back in return. Prince Andrew's story is no longer one of royalty and riches, but of consequences and truth. What happened will be remembered for a long time. Not because he was a prince, but because even the highest walls couldn't hide the truth forever.
In a surprising moment that has reignited discussions about the inner workings of the British royal family, Princess Kate recently made headlines when she appeared to refuse to curtsy to Queen Camilla during a high-profile public event. The incident, caught on camera, has led to widespread speculation about possible tensions between the two royal figures. As protocol usually requires the Princess of Wales to show deference to the Queen Consort with a curtsy, Kate's decision to bypass this traditional gesture has been viewed by some as a pointed act of defiance, possibly reflecting underlying discord within the royal household. This moment, though brief, has added a new layer to the ongoing narrative surrounding the dynamics and relationships among the senior members of the monarchy.
If you look at the coronation footage as the King and Queen leave the thrones and head for the exit of Westminster Abbey on the coronation Saturday, you'll see that everyone bows and curtsies to the King, and no one moves a limb, a muscle, when Camilla passes. And that was because they were angry with Camilla. Camilla brought 20 Parker Bowleses to the coronation. There were 4 Middletons. All the people that helped Camilla get the crown on her head were excluded from that coronation, and they were furious. And not only that, Kate and William were angry too. And that anger, of course, Harry was angry, that anger went right through that small part of the congregation by the throne, by the centre of Westminster Abbey.
Princess Kate's refusal to curtsy to Queen Camilla during a recent public event has become a focal point of royal watchers and media alike, triggering a wave of speculation about what might be going on behind the closed doors of the British royal family. This incident, while seemingly minor, has brought to light the complexities of royal protocol, the relationships between senior royals, and the public's fascination with even the smallest gestures within the monarchy. For centuries, the British royal family has been steeped in tradition, with every move, gesture, and word often carrying significant weight. The act of curtsying in particular is more than just a polite gesture. It is a deeply symbolic act of respect and acknowledgement of rank within the royal hierarchy. The sight of Princess Kate, the wife of the future king, choosing not to curtsy to the current queen consort, was therefore a moment loaded with potential meaning. Observers at the event noted that as the royal family gathered, there was a palpable tension in the air. All eyes were on Kate as she approached Queen Camilla. Traditionally, as the Princess of Wales, Kate would be expected to show deference to Camilla, who, as Queen Consort, holds a higher rank. However, instead of the customary curtsy, Kate merely nodded politely before continuing on her way. The deviation from protocol was subtle, but in the world of royalty, where every gesture is scrutinized, it was enough to set off a flurry of rumors and discussions. Some insiders suggest that Kate's decision may have been influenced by a series of recent events that have strained her relationship with Camilla. It's no secret that the royal family has faced numerous challenges over the years, from the death of Princess Diana to the ongoing struggles with public perception and the media. These challenges have, at times, created rifts between different members of the family, and it's possible that these tensions are now playing out in public view. One potential source of tension could be the differing approaches Kate and Camilla have taken toward their royal duties. Kate, known for her modern approach and emphasis on mental health and children's issues, has become a beloved figure in the UK and beyond. Her calm demeanor and dedication to her role have won her widespread praise, particularly among the younger generation of royal watchers. On the other hand, Camilla's journey to becoming Queen Consort has been fraught with challenges, including her long and controversial relationship with King Charles, which was initially met with public skepticism. Over time, Camilla has worked hard to carve out her own role within the monarchy, focusing on issues such as domestic violence and literacy. Despite their different approaches, both women are united by their commitment to the monarchy and their families. However, the recent incident suggests that there may be underlying differences in how they view their roles and each other. Some sources close to the royal family have hinted that there may have been disagreements over how certain royal duties should be handled or how public appearances should be managed, leading to a build-up of tension that finally surfaced in this public moment. This isn't the first time that the British royal family has found itself at the center of public scrutiny due to interpersonal dynamics. The relationship between Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Diana, for example, was often portrayed as complex, with Diana's popularity and modern approach sometimes clashing with the traditionalism of the monarchy. Similarly, the relationship between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the rest of the royal family has been a source of intense media interest and public debate, particularly after the couple's decision to step back from their royal duties and the subsequent revelations about their experiences within the family. In many ways, the monarchy's public image is shaped as much by these personal relationships as by official duties and public engagements. The British public, and indeed people around the world, have a deep fascination with the royal family, viewing them not just as leaders, but as symbols of continuity, tradition, and national identity. As such, any sign of discord or deviation from the norm within the family is often magnified, leading to intense speculation and debate. The incident involving Kate and Camilla has also highlighted the challenges that come with navigating the complex world of royal protocol. While the rules and traditions of the monarchy are designed to maintain order and respect, they can also be a source of tension, particularly when personal feelings come into play. In this case, Kate's decision not to curtsy may have been a way of asserting her own identity and independence within the rigid structure of the royal family. The British royal family, with all its grandeur and tradition, is often seen as a symbol of continuity and stability in a rapidly changing world. Yet incidents like the one involving Princess Kate and Queen Camilla reveal the human side of this storied institution, where personal relationships and emotions intersect with the demands of duty and protocol. The refusal to curtsy might seem like a small act, but in the context of royal life, it carries significant weight, shedding light on the complexities and challenges that come with being part of such a unique and scrutinized family. As the public and media continue to speculate on the meaning behind this moment, it serves as a reminder that the royals, despite their elevated status, are not immune to the intricacies of personal dynamics. The balance between upholding tradition and navigating modern relationships is a delicate one, and this incident underscores the ongoing evolution of the monarchy as it seeks to remain relevant in the 21st century. In the coming years, as Kate and other younger royals take on more prominent roles, moments like these will likely shape how they are perceived both within the family and by the public. Will they adhere strictly to tradition, or will they seek to redefine their roles in a way that reflects their own values and the changing expectations of society? The answer to this question will play a crucial role in determining the future of the monarchy. For now, this incident stands as a moment of reflection, not just for the royal family, but for all who follow their story. It highlights the ongoing tension between personal feelings and public expectations, a theme that has run through the history of the British monarchy. As the world watches how this situation unfolds, it will be interesting to see how the royal family navigates this latest challenge and what it reveals about the future direction of the institution. Ultimately, the story of the British royal family is one of endurance, adaptation, and the constant balancing act between tradition and change. In a shocking turn of events, King Charles III has stepped down from his role as the monarch of the British royal family. This unprecedented move has sent shockwaves through the United Kingdom and around the world. Camilla, Queen Consort, has reportedly been deeply affected by this development, with sources close to the palace describing her as being in tears. This decision marks a significant moment in British history, altering the future of the monarchy in ways that were previously unimaginable. The announcement came after a series of private meetings within the royal family, leading to the king's official abdication. The news of King Charles III stepping down as the monarch of the British royal family has reverberated across the globe, marking a historic moment in the centuries-old institution. This decision, which has taken many by surprise, was made following a series of private discussions within the royal family. The gravity of the situation is evident, as sources close to Buckingham Palace have revealed that Queen Consort Camilla has been deeply moved by the decision, with reports indicating that she has been brought to tears by the turn of events. King Charles' decision to abdicate has not only shaken the foundations of the monarchy, but has also left the public and royal watchers in a state of disbelief. After years of waiting in the wings as the heir apparent, Charles ascended to the throne, following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. His reign, though short, has been marked by attempts to modernize the monarchy and address the changing dynamics of British society. However, his decision to step down comes as a significant departure from royal tradition, where abdications are rare and often carry considerable implications. In the days leading up to the announcement, there were whispers of tension and uncertainty within the royal household. Insiders have suggested that Charles faced mounting pressure, both from within the family and from external forces, to reconsider his role. The king's health, public opinion, and the future of the monarchy were reportedly central to these discussions. Despite the challenges, many believed that Charles would continue to fulfill his duties as monarch. However, the final decision to abdicate indicates the weight of the considerations he had to bear. Camilla, who has stood by Charles's side for decades, is said to have been particularly affected by the decision. As Queen Consort, she has faced her own share of public scrutiny and challenges. The prospect of Charles stepping down from the throne has added a personal dimension to the situation, amplifying the emotional toll it has taken on her. Those close to the couple have described Camilla as being visibly distressed, struggling to come to terms with the new reality of their lives. Her tears are a testament to the profound impact this decision has had on those within the royal circle. The implications of King Charles's abdication are vast and complex. For the royal family, it means a sudden shift in the line of succession, with Prince William now poised to take on the role of king sooner than anticipated. This change is likely to have far-reaching consequences for the monarchy, as William's vision for the future may differ significantly from that of his father. The British public, too, is grappling with the news as they come to terms with the idea of another transition in leadership so soon after the passing of Queen Elizabeth. Internationally, the decision has prompted reactions from world leaders and royal families across the globe. The British monarchy has long been a symbol of continuity and stability, and the abdication of a sitting monarch is a rare and significant event. Allies and observers alike are now closely watching the developments in the UK, seeking to understand the motivations behind Charles's decision and what it means for the future of one of the world's most well-known institutions. In the wake of the announcement, the media has been abuzz with speculation and analysis. Commentators are dissecting the potential reasons behind the king's abdication, from personal health concerns to the desire to pave the way for a younger generation of leadership. The role of public opinion cannot be ignored, as Charles's popularity has fluctuated over the years. Some have suggested that the king may have felt that stepping aside was in the best interest of the monarchy, allowing Prince William and his wife, Catherine, to take on more prominent roles. The abdication of King Charles III has thrown the royal family and the nation into a state of reflection and uncertainty. This decision, rooted in a complex mix of personal, familial, and public considerations, is unprecedented in the modern era. While the monarchy has weathered many storms, this particular event signifies a turning point that may redefine the future of the British royal institution. In the weeks leading up to the abdication, there were subtle signs that all was not well within the royal household. Close observers noted a shift in Charles's public demeanor. His appearances, once marked by a sense of duty and tradition, had become more subdued. Behind the palace walls, the weight of the crown seemed to be taking a toll on him. Although no official statements were made at the time, there were whispers of the king grappling with the demands of his role, compounded by concerns over his health and the increasingly complex political landscape in the UK. Reports have surfaced indicating that King Charles sought counsel from his closest advisors, including senior members of the royal family and trusted confidants. The discussions were said to be intense and fraught with emotion, as Charles weighed the responsibilities of his position against the realities of his personal circumstances. It is believed that he considered all possible outcomes, including the impact his decision would have on the monarchy, his family, and the nation. Ultimately, it seems that the king reached the conclusion that stepping down was the most responsible and dignified course of action. For Queen Consort Camilla, this period has been particularly challenging. Known for her resilience and quiet strength, she has always supported Charles through the ups and downs of public life. However, the prospect of him relinquishing the throne has reportedly shaken her deeply. Camilla's emotional response highlights the personal sacrifice and the human aspect of what is often seen as a purely institutional matter. The tears she has shed reflect not just her concern for Charles, but also the enormous changes they now face as a couple, transitioning from the roles they have both prepared for over many years. The royal family, now faced with the task of navigating this transition, is likely to undergo a period of internal realignment. Prince William, who has been steadily preparing for his future role as king, will now have to accelerate his readiness to assume the throne. William's ascension is expected to bring a new energy and direction to the monarchy, one that aligns with the expectations of a modern, diverse Britain. However, this transition will not be without its challenges. William will need to strike a delicate balance between honoring the traditions of the monarchy and embracing the progressive changes that many believe are necessary for its survival in the 21st century. As the nation processes this seismic shift, reactions have been mixed. There is a sense of sadness and nostalgia among those who have supported King Charles throughout his life, recognizing his dedication to his duties and his efforts to address contemporary issues such as climate change and social inequality. Yet, there is also a sense of cautious optimism as people look to the future with Prince William at the helm. The British public, while often critical of the monarchy, also holds a deep respect for its continuity and the symbolic role it plays in national identity. The coming months will be crucial in determining how this transition is received and what it means for the monarchy's relevance in a rapidly changing world. Internationally, King Charles's abdication has sparked a wide array of responses. Royal families across Europe have expressed their support and solidarity, recognizing the difficult decision Charles had to make. The bustling streets of Brick Lane fell silent for a moment as King Charles III stepped out of his sleek black Range Rover. The monarch, known for his reserved demeanor, was about to embark on an unexpected adventure that would set social media ablaze and capture the world's attention. As King Charles walked into the modest Bangladeshi restaurant, Gram Bangla, nobody expected what was to come next. What happened after King Charles walked into this foreign restaurant, and what did he do? Join us as we explore exactly what happened right after. King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla made an unexpected visit to Gram Bangla, a Bangladeshi restaurant on Brick Lane in East London, known for IBT's many curry houses and cultural diversity. On a February afternoon, the royal couple's arrival surprised both the patrons of the Bangladeshi place and the staff working there. King Charles, dressed in his characteristic suit, created a welcoming and approachable atmosphere that was different from what one would expect from royalty of his status. As he interacted with those in the restaurant, the initial shock of his presence quickly wore off among both diners and employees, turning into excitement among everybody present. What happened next would end up captivating the entire nation. King Charles, known for his reserved demeanor, engaged effortlessly with the restaurant staff and patrons. He exchanged pleasantries with the owner, Shams Uddin, who has been serving the community for over 2 decades. The king's actions at the venue showed a genuine interest in the restaurant's history and cuisine. The highlight of the visit came when the king, in a moment of spontaneity, as he approached the counter, had his eyes light up with curiosity. "What's that you're making?" he inquired, gesturing towards a blender in operation. The young server replied, "It's a mango lassi, Your Majesty." Taking an action that was as unplanned as it was surprising, Charles asked if he could try his hand at making one. The restaurant staff, too stunned to do anything but nod, watched as the King of England rolled up his sleeves and stepped behind the counter. The sight of the monarch performing this everyday task struck a chord with onlookers, who captured the moment on their phones. As news of the royal visit spread, social media was quickly flooded with takes and opinions. Videos of King Charles making a mango lassi were being circulated widely, and they were accompanied by popular hashtags. The sight of the king taking part in such a mundane, everyday activity struck a chord with people around the world, as it showed a more personal glimpse of the king than his typical formal appearances would. What began as a brief stop on a tour of East London soon became a viral sensation. The visit to Gram Bangla had somehow revealed a different side of King Charles.
Prince Harry speaking out in a really revealing new interview.
You didn't believe she was dead.
I just refused to accept that she was gone. Part of, she would never do this to us, but also part of maybe this is all part of a plan. I think she would be sad. I think she'd be looking at it long term, to know that there are certain things that we need to go through to be able to heal the relationship.
Do you remember the popular tragic car crash that happened in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel?
Thursday marks 20 years since Princess Diana was killed in a car crash inside a Paris tunnel.
Yes, we're talking about the one that claimed the life of Princess Diana. Do you know the incident has been shrouded in mystery and speculation? Well, not anymore, as the truth has finally been revealed, and it has been all we have been suspecting about. Prince Harry's revelation about his mother, Princess Diana, has stunned the world. In an unexpected move, he confirmed the long-standing theories suggesting her tragic death was not an accident, but an orchestrated inside job.
Shocking allegations about Princess Diana's death. Authorities now reviewing the new and sensational claim that she was actually murdered by the British government.
This admission has sent shockwaves globally, igniting debates and discussions everywhere. Stay with us as we delve into one of the most heart-wrenching events in modern royal history: the impact of Prince Harry's revelation. The British royal family, already under intense scrutiny and criticism for various reasons over the years, is now faced with a new wave of skepticism and distrust, with the public and media frequently asking several questions such as, how far does the involvement of the establishment go, and to what length they would go to protect their interest? The idea that a member of the royal family could be targeted in such a manner by those living within the same circle is deeply unsettling if we're to be unbiased about it, and this act raises ethical and moral questions about the length power can corrupt.
With Prince Harry's tell-all memoir dominating headlines, it's hard not to wonder if the royals can survive the latest scathing attack.
However, Harry's revelation challenges the narrative that has been upheld for decades. The official story had initially provided a sense of closure, although it was a painful one to the millions of people who mourned the late Princess Diana. With Harry's new information, the public is forced to revisit and reassess their understanding of the events. It was a jarring experience, as many had come to terms with the tragedy based on the information that was previously available. Well, that was the case until recent times. Now they are confronted with the possibility that there was a deliberate and malicious intent behind the loss of a figure who was not only a royal icon, but also a humanitarian and a beloved public personality. But wait, there is more to Harry's revelation.
Prince Harry says he held on to hope that Princess Diana was secretly still alive, long after her passing.
Harry's admission didn't just come at the cost of revealing the truth behind Princess Diana. He also used the medium to express concerns about his personal life and the struggles he has been going through within the royal family. Harry is known for his willingness to speak out. Harry has always been seen as a rebel, a person who is unafraid to challenge the status quo, especially his decision to break away from the royal family and relocate to the United States with his wife Meghan Markle was simply a clear indication of his desire to forge his path.
A royal reversal from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They are stepping back from senior roles in the royal family. Harry and Meghan say they will work to become financially independent.
From Harry's revelations, it is evident that his actions were driven not just by personal choice, but also by a deep-seated to uncover and confront the truth about his mother's death. Even though his relationship with the media is complex, Harry is looking to set things right. So what are the revelations about Princess Diana Harry seems to know about? And is this move the preferred option for Harry? Then pay attention if you care to know more. The world's reaction to Prince Harry's revelation has been one of shock and disbelief. The whole world is talking about it. Social media is in a frenzy state, with each user to their own opinion, debates, discussions, and expression of their outrage and sorrow. Princess Diana was loved by everyone, and when the news about her passing in that crash, it sent everyone into a cold state as they mourned her.
As dawn breaks on the day of Princess Diana's funeral, the crowds are already gathering on the streets of London. 20,000 extra policemen and women have been drafted in to monitor the crowds.
Prince Harry's statement could potentially prompt a reinvestigation into Princess Diana's death, and if those responsible are found wanting, the public isn't looking for this case to be taken lightly. We don't care how powerful or influential whoever is responsible for this may be. They can't go unpunished. One user said, Princess Diana was an icon, admired and beloved by millions around the world. Her humanitarian work and compassionate nature endeared her to people far beyond the confines of the British Commonwealth. So the revelation about her death, being an orchestrated act and not an accident, will undoubtedly shock and dismay her global admirers, and can even lead to international calls for justice by countries with close ties to the British monarchy, such as Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. For historians and scholars, Prince Harry's admission opens up new avenues for research and analysis.